Welcome, everybody, to the Just the BetSlips podcast, brought to you by 4 of the 6 members of the Just the BetSlips family. Hosts, I should say, because all of you listening are our family, and we want to invite you in to the podcast here. The 4 people that are on is myself, CJ, of the Sports GPS podcast, as well as this podcast at WX Holly on Twitter and at the Sports GPS. To my left, as you're watching this on YouTube, if you are, at Poolside Pat One, aka Patrick Geary. Beneath him is at K Sherman Sports or Kellen Sherman, our Florida resident, aka Kel Dog. And then beneath me is at Robert Orfield or Rob the Parlay Guy. How are we all feeling today for this podcast? We got a fun one today. Yeah, I mean, how are we all feeling? What's the vibes today, gentlemen?
Well, considering we're talking about NFL for the first time, I'm ecstatic because anybody knows I'm usually in a state of depression before football season comes. Um, Betting on other things has kept me not losing my mind. The Braves not sucking quite as bad has made me feel a little bit better. They're actually on the verge of being above 500, which is kind of wild. Didn't think that was going to happen for a while. So yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Fair enough. Kel, doggy dog, how's things down in the Florida?
Uh, pretty good, pretty good. Really hot down here. I hate it so much. It's like the seventh circle of not going to go there. But really, going off the football thing, I love that we're talking about this. I am excited for my Bears this year. We got the second hardest schedule in the league, but you know what? We're going to fight through it, and it's gonna be fun to check out the schedule. Just chop it up with you guys.
Absolutely. And Pat, how are we feeling today? Oh boy, he's coming in close, which means we know it's a 2-word thing about to come out of his mouth.
Jerry O'Connell. Jerry O'Connell.
Bing.
Bit stealer. Bit stealer.
It's just so creepy that he gets that close and just doesn't just say it. Just say the thing and move on, Pat. It's okay. All right, thank you for saying it quick. Yes, we're here for an amazing day of Knicks basketball, but we are talking football and we are talking the biggest what ifs in all of sports history. What are your biggest what ifs as a sports fan? And we want your reactions. So if you're watching this on YouTube, we want you to drop in the comments what is your biggest what ifs that you have as your sports fan. And we're going to go over ours that may or may not probably be with all of our individual sports teams, but we want what you have are the biggest what ifs in your sports fandom, or just fandom in general. So that is where we're going to go today. But first, before we do that, we are going to react to all 4 of our teams' schedule release videos and chop it up a little bit about what teams out there do we think got the shaft and what teams got the bone for how their schedule played out. Who's got the easiest schedule? Who's got the hardest schedules? We'll talk about that. But first, we're going to go over all of our release videos. So if you're on the podcast form of this, you're not really going to be able to hear it. So we're going to kind of skip the videos for you. I'll chop them out. But if you're watching on the YouTube, you'll be able to see the videos and our reactions live. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start off with Kel Doggy Dog Squad. The Bears. What is your video like?
What's up, Lamar? When did you start working here?
Well, it turns out after winning an Emmy, you're not guaranteed work. So here we are. 1 second. What?
Hey, Lamar, it's me. I heard you had the schedule.
Yes, sir. I do. I have it right here in front of me, waiting for you when you get back.
Listen, I'll be out at the game all day. Can you just email it to me?
Yeah, absolutely. Email. I know how to use it. You say email? Hello, coach? Hello? Type this in. Hit me. Got it. Oh, no. Oh, no. No.
What is it?
I sent the entire schedule, to every Ben Johnson on the Chicago Bears marketing list.
You sent a confidential schedule?
Yeah.
What if we track down all the emails and delete them before they get them?
That's not enough time. There's not enough time. We'll never get it done by then. Well, look like we're going to need some help here.
Every bear in this video should win.
Hey, Lamar, how are you?
Jake, oh my God, I'm glad I got you. Question, would you happen to be near your cousin Ben right now?
At the Johnson family reunion. All the Johnsons are here. What's up, Jalen? How you doing, cousin? Jalen Johnson's in my family.
Hear me out. Now, normally you're considered a unreliable person, but right now I need you. I need a big favor from you. I need you to break your cousin Ben's phone.
Yeah,
Now,
sure,
it's a long
no
story,
problem.
but we accidentally, we...
Done.
Really?
All right, bye, Lamar.
Guess your mom was wrong about you. My man.
Hey, are you Ben? I'm Rome, and this is Caleb.
We play for the Bears.
I've never heard of you.
Really? We were the first round picks last year.
QB?
Receiver?
Well, it doesn't matter. Can we see your tablet?
What are you going to give me for it?
I got $8.
I'm going to need more than that.
Today we're gonna solve a very difficult problem. We're gonna follow the pandas. If you can't remember pandas,
That's going to hurt.
Let's go, Mr. Johnson. How you like that?
Hey, y'all want me to get that for you? Go ahead. Thank you. Yeah. Ben, right? Ben Johnson? Yeah. Say cheese. I should have said cheese.
He could have just deleted it.
Oh, hey, look what I got.
He was a Packers fan.
Let me see that, man. That's crazy. What?
I'm sorry, it slipped.
So we got a signed jersey, a game ball, and front row tickets to the home opener.
That watch looks nice.
Yeah.
This freaking kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to United Airlines here in Chicago.
oh my. Oh my gosh! It's Caleb Williams right there.
Caleb?
What? No.
What is happening?
This is so insane. Like, why break them? Just delete the
Hey, you never
emails.
sent me the schedule.
It's in here. It's in my pocket. So just gotta dust that off.
It's all crumpled up.
Who are you?
I'm Ben Johnson.
I'm Ben Johnson.
All right. So that was good. That was good.
Shout out to you, girl.
Yeah, instant reaction right now. What are we grading that bad boy?
I mean, it was creative. I give him that.
I love New Girl. I love Lamorne, and I love Jake. I just love that show. I mean, it's tough because it's the first one, but man, out of like 10, that's got to be like an 8 something, 8.6.
I'm gonna give it a
No.
7. I'm gonna
For the
give it a
Bears.
7.5.
For the Bears, 8.5.
Oh, look at this
I
guy.
see what you did there.
Look at this
I'm
guy.
gonna give it a 7.5. If they had just like covertly, like in the internship when is it the intern? No, the intern where they go and they like break into the mom's house and delete the email and put it like if they had just covertly deleted all the emails and then give them back like, oh hey, sorry,
Yeah.
like that
Or
would have
just
made it better. It
play
would have
it.
been funnier. But instead of just chucking phones, I will say chucking phones and electronic devices is
Also funny.
pretty funny. But at the same time, I get like he could have gone a lot different way.
Yeah.
Rob, what's your vote?
Well, why did the kid look like Henry Roland Gardner to me? Like,
Oh, he did.
Hassenfutter.
that's all I kept thinking about every time I saw that kid was that movie. I couldn't stop seeing it.
That's
You
fair.
like Little Big League or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Kel, what are you giving your squad?
I'm giving it a 9.9. I think that was a fantastic film. I believe every Bears player in that picture deserves an Emmy. It was a wonderful way to start the trek towards the new season and to introduce the schedule ahead.
That's fair. That is fair. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. All right. Next, we have the Vegas Raiders. And what is their video? We encourage everybody to go watch these videos if you're listening to the podcast.
I apologize in advance. It's a little longer, but we'll have some fun.
All right.
Here at the Las Vegas Raiders, we like to treat every day like it's game day.
So I like to start with losses.
Oh!
Woo!
So I heard Tom Brady's in the building today with John Spytek.
Yeah, they are right up there.
Hey, Tom, great draft class, some great free agents. We got Pete Carroll. You ready for the season? Let's go.
All right, everyone. So the next stop on our tour will be our 3 Super Bowl trophies. The first 2 while we were in Oakland, and our third while we were the Los Angeles Raiders.
Of the 3 teams that played in Los Angeles, how many have won a Super Bowl?
2 have. 1, not so much. Who wants to see the team room?
Oh, man.
Wow. 1983 was a good year.
Yeah, I remember like it was yesterday. Let me see that, Jim.
Touchdown.
Holy Toledo. Whoa.
Here at Raiders headquarters, we love to make everything authentically and with love. Come on, that needs more sauce!
Yes, sir!
Hey, you guys are taking too long. Let's go!
Yes, sir!
Pat, what is up? That's burn!
Yes, sir!
You call yourself a chef? That looks like bear
Yes, sir!
Wow, that's a load of garbage.
Dang, AJ.
Like that one. Oh, let's go. My guy.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yes.
Hey, where's the flags?
Grab one there. You can grab one over there, and the penalty flag over here. Let me see. Up here. There we go. There's one here, and how about here? There's one here. Good reaction. Good reaction.
Las Vegas Raiders. This is JP Jackson Powers Johnson. Yeah, no, I can definitely help you out with that. Anything else? No? Just always remember, go Raiders.
Jackson, what was that?
Just working hard.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
I've been with the Raiders for over 5 years now, and nothing surprises me.
The Broncos. Okay. No, that makes sense. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Cute pony.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's good, but let's have a closer look.
Yeah, let's have a closer look.
What you think? Very good. Good. Yeah, looks good.
Oh, man. The index card.
Hey, yo, come on, man. What's going on?
It was bring your dog to work day today, bro. Man.
Come on, man.
Oh, my
What's that
gosh.
smell?
Can I get some help?
Wait, but all right.
Turn, son!
Hey, thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Come on, you got it.
All our team is facing.
Good shot.
Oh, you think
Gotcha, bro.
Max.
This.
Come on, Max.
Guys, white, not blue.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, your chewing gum for the year's here. Where do you want me to put it?
Hey, where's Flag?
All right.
That's not enough gum.
No.
That's good stuff.
I'm smacking this apple.
Dad, take a deep breath, all right, man?
I'm sorry whose ever apple this is. I swear to God, I'll get you a new one. Oh. Real life.
Wow.
Damn it, I forgot to make the door.
Put it back one more time.
Let's start all over.
Marcus, get out.
First, Peter Piper picked a peck of pivot.
I told you I need some tequila before I do this.
What? Sorry. I didn't know which gun it was.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Let's make this fast one.
Wave goodbye.
All right.
All right. So, what do we think about the Raiders? What do we think about the Raiders here? What do we think?
I'm not sure how I like how they did Phillip Rivers and the Chargers like that, but
Yeah, that was tough. That
I
was
feel
a tough look.
that's the one guy I feel is the most sorry for it in NFL history is Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, that was a tough look. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was tough. That was a hard one.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
It was funny. Like that. I will say they could have done a little bit better with the Jacksonville. Making fun of the Duval. Because that's where they were going with it. But you know what? For all intents and purposes, it was a solid video.
And I never really, obviously now the NFL is just trying to dominate however many months, however many weeks that they can, and I respect it. But like all these teams with all their creative schedule releases, I don't think the people should be poo-pooing them. They're fun. It's something to just laugh at, smile at. Like no matter what, your team did and didn't do, the Minecrafts, the Colts, all these things. But man, that was just fun. That got me like hyped for football. I rate it. I will rate it lower than the Bears.
Honestly, I had it better than the Bears. Honestly, I did.
Yeah, slightly lower, and
I had it slightly better. I had it 7.9.
Yeah, so slightly better than the Raiders. I had the Raiders at 8.5. I have that at, I had the Bears at 8.5. I have this at like 8.2, 8.3-ish. The new girl with Lamorne and Jake Johnson just got me.
That's fair. Rob?
I have to. But I thought that was fun. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
So my real rating is 8.2, but I want to give it a 4.3 because that's the speed of every wide receiver they've ever drafted.
Yeah. Yeah, just drafted a new one. He's 6'5" and he runs a 4.2 or 4.3.
Kel, what are your thoughts on the Raiders?
I thought
Video?
it was very funny, very clever. They got some good people there. Not a big fan of how long it was.
A little long.
Like the length was the only thing that got me, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's what knocked it down. I thought the jokes hit harder in that one than the Bears one, to be clear. So like I would have given it more. I would have had it up there more, but it was a little long. All right, next we go to Rob's team. It is the Commanders, and Are they riding roller coasters? What is this?
Oh, I love this so much.
Oh my god.
Love this so much. Shots.
Cheese.
Cheese chaser, okay. The strip, so they're in Vegas, okay. Falcons filling station, okay. The bolt, all right.
Comes down to one last play.
I just want to play this game.
It is getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line. Now you get stepped into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught!
There it is.
Caught!
Yep, saw that coming.
It's a miracle!
Oh man.
Oh my goodness!
Like that seemed oddly long.
The old Jerry's World, okay. Chiefs Kingdom, that's pretty good.
Love that.
Chiefs-aholic walking.
That's pretty much tail.
That's good. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Off to Spain because that's one of the international games. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Bye-week basin. All right.
Love that.
I think this is creative so far. I do like this. Good luck is at okay.
I think Washington jumped.
Oh,
Frankie
whoa.
Luvu jumped over both lines. Yeah. That was like Air Jordan. Look at him. Look at his face. He's got the tongue out like MJ too. Look at that. Right over the top.
Oh yeah, that's pretty funny.
Whoa.
They made it so intense, everybody's puking. Okay.
That was really good.
All right. So what are we thinking about? What are we thinking about the Commanders here? What are we thinking about the Commanders?
Somebody in their IT department had a lot of fun making that. Is all I'm going to say.
Oh, absolutely.
That took a lot of work on the computer.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Pretty good with the crashing on the Maryland Miracle. I know that hurts you a little bit to your core there, Kel.
Oh.
I did the Luvu leap. It's pretty funny. You know how but when it mattered, he kept jumping the line, and they almost awarded a score. So just throwing that one out there. But
Well, I think
pretty
that was
funny.
intentional.
Yeah, they're trying to save something, but I mean, regardless, yeah, it was good. It was good. I think that was a solid schedule reveal video for the Commanders. It was funny for sure. It definitely brought back some nostalgia. For me, I'm actually going to give it a 9. Just because of the nostalgia factor. I was a really big fan of Roller Coaster Tycoon when I was a kid. I actually still have the game on a computer at my mom's house. It's still on that computer.
I love that.
So it's still going.
Yeah.
Pat, what are you thinking?
That's it does get the nostalgia. It 8.8. It's the best one so far. I know that it's definitely niche, and some people may not get it, but they also are a young team full of players a youngish team full of players that may have played Roller Coaster Tycoon. So I know that was incredible. Like that, the creativity bumps it up a little bit above the Bears.
That's fair.
So that's right. And that was awesome. That was really
Rob. I want your reaction last, so we'll go to Kel next.
Yeah, I The Maryland Miracle was a bit of kick to the Bears there, so I'm not gonna rank it above the Bears, but I got to give it a 9.2, 9.3 because the little the creativity everybody's saying, the little what's it called? I can't think of the word, but like the Bears
The
thing,
ticker?
and then the Luvu leap.
Yeah.
Easter eggs is what I'm thinking of.
The Easter eggs. Yeah. And I also, I mean, just the fact that they came up with all those different names for each spot too is pretty good. Rob, what's your grading on this bad boy?
Yeah, it's pretty high. Like I said, the creativity on it is crazy. They could have called me and I gave them some better ideas for a couple of them, just because I'm a little more savage than they probably are. But I love the Bears one. It was all. I mean, I don't think they could have done this without having that, especially since we're playing the Bears again at home. Wish they had went a little harder on the Cowboys. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
but I would say probably a 9 for me. But that's probably that's the highest I've rated anything so far.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely got my highest rating at a 9 too, so we're there. All right, let's get to the last one. It's also the shortest one, but it is the defending Super Bowl champs, is the Philadelphia Eagles. What do they have for us?
In fairness, they don't really have to do much except show a trophy.
Tis true.
Speaking of which,
here it is. Oh my word. Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, here's all right. I'm gonna be completely honest with you here, and I'm gonna grade it fairly. I actually think that's the worst one. And to be fair, like out of the 4, it's the worst one. However, when you can just have the set of the cojones to just go, listen, this is our movie this year. We're the Super Bowl champs, and we're just gonna face these random 17 minus 3 because you 14 teams. We're playing these random 14 teams, and they're coming to try to steal our trophy. Like it's definitely one of those like, here's a brass set of cojones, and you can deal with it. I think that aspect of it's pretty good, but it's the worst one as far as creativity. The Philadelphia Orchestra is phenomenal, but like they didn't really have to put in that much work.
so here's how I feel about this, because although it does take cojones to do it that way, I actually think it was the classiest thing they could have done, because they could have been over the top about it. They could have rubbed it in your face, and they didn't. They just had the orchestra playing. Now, they made me think a movie was about to start, so that kind of irritates me a little bit. But I now got to go watch a movie after the podcast just so I can get that out of my system. But I think it was tasteful. So, like, I give it a higher rating just because they could have been, like, it's the non-cowboy thing to do. The Cowboys would have been, like, dancing on your grave type of video, where the Eagles took the high road. So,
and to go off of that too, like he was saying, like you both have been saying, yeah, it's not the most creative one out there, but what did they really have to do? Like, they can't. There's nothing really to do. Like, you don't have that 1 or 2 games that you can make a joke at, like Rob and the Commanders did with the Bears. It's just, we beat everybody. We have the championship. It's time to move on.
Yeah. I have one word, I know that I've been doing a lot of 2 words where I get close to the camera and say it, but
Yeah, let's avoid that. Go ahead with your one word.
this one I'll go from back here, and that is woo! Let's go. For those that know, you know. If you don't, then you don't. I didn't realize that was the song. I knew the premise of the video before I just watched it, but that was the first time me watching it. But I didn't know. Like, I knew that it was literally just the visuals of the trophy, and then they just I can't put it above the Roller Coaster Tycoon. I can't put it above any of them. But I'm gonna give it a solid. This is rookie score, but I'm giving it an 8 because they didn't need to do too much, and they didn't. The other ones were a little bit more fun. They had these like little gimmicks, whatever. But the this is 8 on just nuts, right there, and that's what I appreciate that. I think every champion going forward, if they're going to continue, which they're going to, they're eventually just going to make it a whole. The NFL schedule release will eventually just be its own TV show, and people will tune in. It'll be like a 3-hour event, and it'll get ratings. That's going to happen. But as long as they're doing these like theatrical releases, the champion should follow the. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. The champions should just follow the Eagles playbook right there. Just we won. So
yeah,
here it is.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you there that it's that it was classy. It was definitely the way they needed to go, and it was still a set of brass nuts to do what they did. So
yeah.
Now let's get in after we've done the videos. Of course, we only did our 4. We encourage you to go watch all of them if you have the time. Who got the worst possible schedule and how it was released? Not for the fact that you got bad games, but like how bad did like they mess up your schedule? Like, when you go and play a certain team and things like that. And who got lucky in that regard? We already knew the opponents, and it's all based on where you finished and rotations for division. So what's everybody think? Give me your least got screwed and the most got screwed.
Between the 4 of us, or in all?
Everybody give one team that you think got screwed and one team that you think did fairly well in how their schedule played out. Kel, I'm going to start with you.
I know I keep pointing to myself as a joke, but with the Bears having the second hardest schedule in the league right now, I think the Bears got very screwed. A lot of very tough matchups there, like in a 8-week span. If I'm adding this up right, we got to play Washington away, then you got to go to Baltimore, to Cincinnati, and then you got to go to Philadelphia in there. That's a tough stretch. I mean, you do have the Giants and the Saints in there, and the Steelers in there, and like Minnesota, who's like JJ McCarthy. What are we talking about here? He's not worth the ink that was printed on his contract. But out of all that, I could see like Baltimore being a tough matchup. Cincinnati will be a fun one. And Philadelphia is going to be the first real test of a defense for our offense all year long. And that's in week, 10, 11?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would put the Bears there.
Who has the easiest for you?
You'd have to come back to me on that one.
Okay, fair enough. That's fine. Rob, if you don't want to give an easiest, don't give an easiest. That's fine. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah. The Bears is tough considering their schedule. It didn't really feel deserved to me. Like usually a team who performed really well, I know the divisions, that rotation is actually a bigger part of this. Like Washington and the Eagles both got tough schedules, 1 because they were good, and 2 because the divisions they're playing are just good teams. So they're kind of up there. I still think the Bears might be worse for all the things he said, but also just because I'm not saying it's not that they were bad. They just weren't. They were not deserving of the type of murderer's row that they have over a period of like six games, 7-game stretch. For Washington, I hate the fact that they have to go to Madrid. Like, I like it, but I hate for the team going there, even though they have a bye week following that. Those teams usually get like 3-week lag after going over there for those types of games. So it's good for exposure. I understand why they do it, but I just hate when my team is involved in it. But for once we're good, so I guess I'll accept it because that's usually who they want to send over there. Especially, I think this is the first time we do Madrid, right? I believe.
Yeah, this is the first time it'll be in Spain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
typically, if it's the first time, they want to make it a good matchup. I think that's Dolphins and Commanders, which
Dolphins Commanders. Yep.
That could actually be a pretty competitive game as long as Tua's not got his brain scrambled by then. But easiest one, I didn't really look at this, but I'm trying to remember. I'd looked the other day, and I can't off the top of my head remember the team though. There was like 2 or 3. I think Jacksonville. It's Jacksonville, so nothing's going to be easy to them. But schedule wise, they seem to have the biggest cakewalk from what I've seen. But again, it's Jacksonville, and they make everything hard. So that doesn't necessarily make it easy. It just and maybe that's why they got that schedule, because they need it to be easier for it to be more competitive. I don't know.
That's fair. Pat, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, a couple thoughts. I mean, just some research. I think, and maybe you would think differently, Rob. The Commanders 8 standalone games, so they're tied with the Cowboys and Chiefs. I can't believe the Cowboys just continue to get these games, even though they haven't done anything in 20 plus years.
Correct.
But that seems to be, schedule wise, they do have a top 10 if you're looking at the numbers. So maybe not as great as you mentioned the Spain game, but that's got to be pretty cool that they're going to have these primetime games that we'll no doubt be talking about. Another winner, the 49ers, easiest strength of schedule by the numbers. And what I saw is that they're literally only playing against 3 teams that made the playoffs last season.
Shout out to Brock Purdy getting paid, by the way.
Yeah, he also got paid today. But like what I'm saying is, we already knew their opponents were going to be easy, but like they have a really easy road as far as like the strength of schedule. So yeah, I'll give you that. They do have a very easy ride.
And I do want to add, Cowboys are losers in this, just in general, but they have a gauntlet like no other from 12 to 17. Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders.
Yeah,
that's
couldn't happen
tough.
to a better team. Couldn't happen to a better team.
Couldn't happen to a better team.
And then I do want to say this, and maybe you'll definitely agree. I think you touched on it briefly, CJ. The Eagles, they will become the first ever defending Super Bowl champions to not play back-to-back home games.
Yep,
the next season.
That is kind of wild, by the way.
That's my squad that got the biggest shaft. But before I get into that, and I'll dive deeper, Pat. Thank you for that segue. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go with the easiest row. It's the Saints. First off, they have the 31st strength of schedule. Yep. They play no primetime games, none, 0. And then they go to Seattle and to the Bills, but they go to both of them early, so they don't have to face the harsh weather for either one of them. And they have a later bye week in like week 11. So you only have 7 games when you come back from the bye. You go to Miami late, and you go to Tampa Bay late, which will be, better matchups as far as, like temperature wise, because it won't be as hot in Miami. It won't be as hot in Tampa Bay. You're home versus the Jets. So they got a very, very favorable schedule on when they play people. And now they're going to be trash, so it doesn't really matter. But they got a favorable schedule. And in the NFC South, that's a who's who on who could win that bad boy. So the Saints could end up being the number one. Like, they could end up winning that division and making the playoffs just because they got an easy schedule one, and they got very favorable on when they play people. Speaking of favorable when they play people, I'm going to start talking about the fact, and Pat, you led me into it. Yes, the Eagles got the 100% shaft. They play a lot. They play on every single day of the week that NFL football will be played this year. They play on a Thursday. They actually have, do they have 2 Thursday games? Yeah, because they have the kickoff game, and then they have at the Giants or Thursday night games. They have 2 Monday night games. They have a Sunday night game. Then they have the Black Friday game, and then and they play on Saturday versus the Commanders in Week 16. And they have to go to the Commanders and to the Bills, 16 and 17, when they're probably fighting for the number 1 overall seed. They've got to go to the Packers on Monday night, then turn around and face the Lions at home, and the Lions are coming off their bye. They face the Vikings in Minnesota coming off their bye, which means J.J. McCarthy will have a bye week to prep for this Eagles team. They've got to go to Tampa Bay early when it's hot. We've already talked about that before. They've got to go to Kansas City in week 2. They got absolutely shafted as the defending Super Bowl champions. And I'm not talking about just the fact that their strength of schedule. We knew who they were going to face. We knew that coming out Jump Street. But the fact they don't have back-to-back home games, they have back-to-back road games in a couple of spots. So, it's not fun. It's not fun in that regard for the fact that it's the first defending Super Bowl champion to never have back-to-back home games is absolutely trash. And I'm talking about it. It's absolute trash. So hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that is awful, NFL. Tell me you don't want a dynasty other than Kansas City without telling me you don't want a dynasty without Kansas City. And just being honest.
Well, you play the teams that's in front of you.
Yeah, it's just, can you get a more favorable schedule? Can you have Minnesota in week 4 and then go to Tampa Bay in week 7 instead of flip-flopping those? Make it October in Tampa Bay where it's not nearly as hot as September in Tampa Bay. It's just all bad. All bad everywhere. But it's okay. It's all right. They'll rise above it.
I do have one good thing for the Raiders and one bad thing.
Quick?
Just to kind of finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
Schedule release is schedule release, and we all, if we had enough time, we would probably all just sit through our own team schedule and do win losses. That could be fun, but
might be a later podcast.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe towards the start of the season. You never know. So 7 of the last 8 games for the Raiders, which is a tough schedule, are indoors. Gino, new quarterback, just saying.
Mm-hmm.
His QB rating is above 100 when he plays indoors. In 16 games, he's thrown 31 touchdowns compared to just 6 interceptions. And he also averages way more passing yards. Almost 40, actually pretty much exactly 40 above his career average when he plays indoors. So week 11 through 18, their only outdoor game will come in week 15 against the defending champions. So if they are in a position to fight for a playoff spot, those games could help out, but they are some tough games. Because over the final 6 weeks of the season, they will be facing 5 teams that made the playoffs last year, including the Chiefs and the Eagles. It has to be stated that the AFC West could end up being one of the best divisions in football next year. For sure. And then the other ones, Eagles, Texans, Chargers, all on the road. But again, most of those games are indoors. So Raiders end up, I believe, I don't have it in front of me. Do I have it in front of me? They end up with the 16th. Yeah, They're right in the middle of the pack when it comes to numbers wise as strength of schedule. But it's fun to look at this and do the win losses, but it's really just gonna. I mean, by the time we get to week,
It's a
11,
crapshoot regardless of how you get at it. It 1000%. We'll know better when we get to training camp. We'll know how these rookies go. We'll know how this.
Yep.
It's fun to do it early, but like I said, it's just the way the schedules are made. You'd think you'd get a little bit more diversity, but
it's fun.
I mean,
it's fun.
It is fun. All right. When we return, we're going to take a short break, hit the commercials. When we return, we're going to talk the biggest what-ifs in the history of our fandom, right on the opposite side of this commercial break. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry for that small commercial break, but we are going over the biggest what-ifs in our fandom. Who wants to go first? With one or two biggest the what-ifs in sports fandom? Pat, you want to? Kel, let's go, Kel. I like Kel first.
So for one, what if Derrick Rose never got hurt? What if he didn't blow out both of his knees and then sit out in that very pivotal Brooklyn Nets playoff series, even though he was fully healthy? I'm still not over that, but I'm going to continue. I think more championships, more MVPs, nice, easy peasy there. Maybe the front office will actually build around him instead of just putting a bunch of schmoes around Luol Deng and a bunch of schmoes around him for the time that he was with the team. So I think he would become a better player, but also he would have to learn to not play balls to the wall like he did, because that is what brought him there. And I think he would just get smarter if he did not get injured. My second one would be, what if Jordan didn't retire? He would have 2 more titles. He would have 8 straight. It would be the greatest title run in history. Even though he is the GOAT right now, this would completely solidify for everyone out there that he is the greatest of all time, and that is the greatest championship stretch of all time. He probably would have had 1 to 2 more scoring titles as well. And there would be no other debate that he is absolutely 100% the greatest of all time and the greatest to ever wear the number 23 of all time. Jordan doesn't retire 2 more championships, 8 straight.
Okay. I feel like Pat needs to cool off a little on that one. So, Rob, what are your biggest what ifs ever?
So, but I'll save my homer one for a second. But my first one's Bo Jackson. If Bo Jackson hadn't hurt his hip, not only would he have been one of the greatest running backs of all time, he probably would have been a 40-40 dude in baseball and made the All-Star game and Pro Bowl multiple years running. He was a freak, and he was the one guy that could play both sports and be an all elite at both. Like, he would have gone down as the greatest running back of all time had he played 10 years. He's already the greatest athlete we've ever seen, regardless of how many years he played. But he was just a freak. And I mean, he would have at least had 5, 6, 7 Pro Bowls and like 5 All-Star games at the bare minimum. He'd be up there around 500 home runs had he played baseball the whole time. Like, it would have been an insane thing to see. And then obviously the homer pick for me is Robert Griffin III. So I've always stated the worst thing you can give Washington is hope. Well, that is exactly what Robert Griffin did, is he gave Washington hope. He took a team who had been abysmal for 20 years, and arguably if he had not got hurt, they were up in the playoffs against Seattle 3 touchdowns. Then he re-injured to the point where he never recovered from it. He played again, but the ghost of RG3 past haunted his career for the rest of his life. They blew the 3 touchdown lead after he went out because the team was so. Why they should have never played him in the first place in the game. And 2, once they got up 3 touchdowns, he should have been out immediately, because then all you got to do is run the ball, play defense, and you can hold a 3 touchdown lead. But when you have that guy get taken out the way he did, and the team sees that, and they're like in the tanks, they looked like they're going through the motions the rest of that game. And honestly, I believe Washington has I don't know if they win a Super Bowl, but they have a Super Bowl run if Robert Griffin does not get hurt in that game. I think they would have, essentially, it's been 12 years before Jaden Daniels' season to get to the NFC Championship. It took 12 years to recover from that one day. Like it took a team that went from 20 years of nothing to another 12 years of nothing before they got back to where they needed to, and it's only because they got somebody who was in this time was just as game changing and just as big as RG3 could have been in 2012.
Okay,
it's fair. Pat, you want to go now?
Yeah.
I feel like you want to go now. You've simmered down after Kel kind of
Oh,
bashed your boy there for a little bit.
I was perfectly simmered. No big deal. We don't have to touch on. Kel
So
had his.
what? I was just giving my what ifs. This is the rules of the show.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, that's an awesome card. Wait,
what is that?
Is that is MJ?
Yes, it is.
See, that is an awesome card. I love that.
Let's see what year is this. 96-97. He made 111 3-pointers that year. That's nuts.
Wow. Absolutely.
He averaged 30 points a game. Played 3,100 minutes. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It feels like the GOAT to me. It feels pretty goatly as I'm holding it.
Yeah, it does. It does feel that.
So am I gonna do my
Yeah, you're doing your what ifs right now, Pat. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, Pat.
Please.
Well, I have 2 homers, and then I'll just do one. I have a list here, but
okay.
I'll do my 2 homers really quick, and then I'll do one extra one. Tuck rule.
Okay.
The Raiders win that game. Who knows if they end up winning this at all? But they did have the reigning MVP in Gannon. They had Gruden, and it was a rule that was eventually. It's not a rule anymore. So as much as I love Tom Brady and full circle is with the Raiders, sometimes I do think about how I cried as a 9-year-old watching that game in my bed before school the next morning. And then just shout out to Tommy because I know this is one of his. Derek Carr, 2016. I'll never forget where I was when he just shattered his leg in whatever injury it was. But MVP type season, Raiders were in their window, and week 15, I believe it was, or 16 against the Colts, just everything went out the window. Connor Cook, shout out Michigan State, starts in the playoff game, and the Raiders get mollywopped, and it was like the first time in forever that I had been like confident about the Raiders, and that goes back to Tuck rule. So the what ifs there are certainly big for me personally. If I had to pick one, I mean, I kind of want to just maybe drop some of the ones I have on my list just because I have a big list. But to go on what you guys were saying, I guess, just to be, because I have a couple NBAs, I have 2 hockey ones, I have a couple MLBs, but and one more NFL. So maybe I could do some quick honorable mentions. But what if the Trailblazers select Michael Jordan before the Bulls do instead of Sam Bowie? Like what world are we living in if Michael Jordan played for the Portland Trailblazers in the early 80s?
Then the greatest player of all time would have played for Portland.
So Portland is just now just 6-time champions or whatever it is, and
maybe
that's
8.
what happens.
I mean, that's a what if scenario. I mean, there was a lot of Jordan had a really good group of guys and a really, really good coach that led him through the early years until he really came into his own later. So
do you guys know who the first overall pick in that draft was?
Somebody that's not relevant.
Oh, furthest from the truth.
I mean, they were in a draft class with Michael Jordan, so they can't be but so relevant.
Oh, that's absolutely furthest from the truth.
That's not That's not Hakeem. No.
Hakeem.
Yeah,
the
no, it is.
freaking
Yeah, it
Dream,
is
was
Hakeem.
bro.
Okay.
Yeah, Rob. One of
Like
the
I
best
said, compared to
of all
Jordan,
time.
that's like me saying like, okay, well, Enos Williams was as good as Jaden Daniels.
But
Like
do you-
that's the
Arguably,
comparison.
I'm gonna say this.
Olajuwon was amazing.
Olajuwon is one of the greatest basketball players that ever lived.
He's like top
Arguably
25.
one of the greatest
He's one of the greatest
drafts
players that ever lived. The
in
Dream Shake.
one
He's
of
one
of the greatest drafts in all of NBA history.
Can't.
I'm just gonna go over this.
Yeah.
Akeem Olajuwon went number 1. Sam Bowie went 2. Jordan goes 3. Sam Perkins goes 4. Charles Barkley goes 5. Melvin Turpin goes 6. Alvin Robinson 7. Lancaster Gordon 8. Otis Thorpe 9. And then, I mean, we can go through a bunch of guys that did nothing, but 16th, John Stockton went 16th.
Good old John Stockton.
This is crazy.
Pat, you're not wrong. Akeem Olajuwon was definitely worthy of the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, but I'm talking about what our parlay guy said.
I said he was top 25. That's good, right?
Top 25 in all of NBA history. I think
Yeah.
you're lowballing him a little bit. I think he's a top 10 player in all of
Thank
NBA
you.
history.
He's not in my top 10. I can promise you that. He's not even close to my top 10.
I have him in top 10. I have top 10. We can do that another
Well, yeah,
time,
we-
guys.
we don't have time
We're
for
going
that.
off the rails. We're going off the rails.
That could be another
It'll be another
podcast.
time. It'll be another topic for another thing.
I don't even want to do my honorable mentions.
Okay, quick.
So many honorable mentions.
Go ahead, quick. Rattle them off. Just say them.
I will.
And go.
Parlay guy. Always messing with me. Knicks, I hope the Knicks win this game. Okay. MLB. No home run race in 98.
Okay.
Bartman.
Okay.
94 strike. Lou Brock from the Cubs to the Cardinals.
Okay.
LeBron goes to college. Len Bias. Great documentary if you've never watched it. Len Bias.
Right.
30
Good.
USA loses to the Russians in 1980 in hockey. The Gretzky trade, which if you've never looked into it, I highly recommend it. Didn't realize it. It was similar to a lot of things going on now. But the Gretzky going to the Kings from the Oilers might have saved the NHL, similar to the home run race that saved baseball potentially. And then my last NFL one was, what if Drew Bledsoe doesn't get his ass knocked out and Thomas Patrick, I think that's his middle name.
I can actually answer that. Because if Bledsoe doesn't get knocked out and Tom Brady doesn't come in, Tom Brady still would have had a very similar career. Because
It would have been delayed. It would have been delayed by a year.
It would have been
and a half to
delayed
2
by a
years.
year. Yeah, 2 years. Because I know I have met and to tell you the truth, I can't remember his name, but I dealt to him when I was in the casino. An offensive lineman, a backup offensive lineman for that Patriots squad, Tom Brady's rookie year. And he was like, "Did you know Tom Brady was that good?" Early, he said, "I've never seen a draft pick." And he was like a 5-6 year vet at this point, right? I've never seen a backup quarterback come in and command a huddle like Tom Brady did. They knew they had it, and they knew they would be good. Tom Brady Bledsoe would have just gone. I can answer that question. We don't have to fully answer that question because obviously the thing didn't happen, but we are talking about what ifs.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tom Brady would have been just as good. It just would have been 2 less years on his career. So he might not have gotten the Super Bowl in Tampa. That might have been it. Might have. All right. I've got 3. I've got 2 homers. I'm quick on them, and then the last one I have. I'm going to go with my non-homer first, and that is, what if the miss was a make? And if you don't know what I mean, I'm talking about the 1991 Super Bowl, January 27th, 1991. Bills, the field goal attempt. What if it doesn't go wide right? And we talked about this. The Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback since like the 80s to lose a Super Bowl and get back to a Super Bowl. Well, sorry, since the 90s. The first Super Bowl to lose his first Super Bowl and get back since Jim Kelly. If Jim Kelly wins the first one, I think that Bills team wins 4 straight Super Bowls. And I think they become the greatest dynasty ever in NFL history. And I think truly that we would talk about Jim Kelly being the greatest quarterback of all time. Because I still think he's one of the greats.
Yeah, I think he's one. I think he's up there already. But
but he would not be.
Him getting that team, not just him, but that team getting to 4 straight Super Bowls, even in that era, is insane. Like,
it's absolutely insane.
That's not gonna. I don't think we'll ever see that again.
We'll never see.
We haven't since. So
no. If Kansas City gets back, they will have been the 4 straight. But
will that be this year? Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah. So I think they win 4 Super Bowls. I think that loss made them press in 92 and then press in 93 and big time press in 94. I think if they get the quote unquote elephant off their back in 91 and the miss doesn't happen, I think they win. So that's a massive one for me and a bunch of friends.
Yeah,
I've got another football one and then I've got a baseball one. Both are homer. I'm gonna go to baseball first because I think it's a little bit less. What if Ryan Howard does not tear his Achilles in the last game of that 2020 or the 2011 divisional? I know you're going to shut your. I'm not. The Cardinals won that game whether Ryan Howard tears his Achilles or not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the rest of his career because Ryan Howard. Possibility of winning more MVPs, more Silver Sluggers, and he becomes a Hall of Famer. He probably hits 500 homers if he doesn't tear his Achilles because he was averaging still 30, and he played for 5 more years after the 2011 season. And if he is healthy and continues to hit 30 homers, he's a member of the 500 homer club. And that makes him a Hall of Famer because he already has 382. He then went and hit 14, 11, 23, 23, and 25. So just put all those together. He hit 100 homers after he tore the Achilles. So he was at 282. If you make those 5 years 30 instead, he's at 400 and change. He probably plays for a couple additional years because his WAR wouldn't have fallen off a cliff like it used to.
Yeah.
He's a totally different player if he doesn't tear his Achilles, and I think he has a longer career.
He's high 400s or 500 for sure.
I think he's 500. I don't think he doesn't get there, and I think this Phillies team they might have tried to keep their core because he was the main piece. I think the Phillies might have a shot at winning the World Series in a couple down years in 13 and 14.
And the NL MVP race got thinned out. I mean, I know Poole said a tough go of it nail, but he was gone. I think there's a good chance he has 500.
And then my last, but certainly not least, what if Alshon Jeffrey caught it? 2019 divisional game versus the Saints. Eagles are down 14-20. They are driving after a incomplete pass and a roughing the passer penalty by Davenport on Nick Foles. Darren Sproles gets no gain on 1st and 10. The next play is a slant to Alshon Jeffrey, goes right through his hands and gets intercepted by Marcus Lattimore at the New Orleans 19-yard line. If he catches it, he's got a little bit of space to run, and they're definitely inside the red zone with a little under 2 minutes left with a touchdown to possibly beat the Saints and go on and host. They would host the NFC Championship game versus the Packers if they had won. And I believe that they would have won that game versus the Packers. This is also the same year of the double doink, by the way. Sorry, hate to bring that up. Bear down. But they were starting to find a way again. They started to believe again. and that interception robbed them of a chance to keep going and possibly get to back-to-back Super Bowls. I'm not saying it would likely, but that is one of the biggest what-ifs in Eagles sports fandom. Also, what if the Eagles never traded Reggie White? But that's another one.
What was the Super Bowl that year?
It was Saints versus
Colts. No.
Was that? No, that wasn't Saints Colts.
Was it Saints? Why?
The Saints 1,000% beat the Packers the next game. I believe.
Blanking on that.
Wait, the year the double doink?
No, that
Yeah.
wasn't the Saints.
I thought the Saints. Let me look.
it-
Maybe it was the Packers. I don't know.
No, because the
No, it wasn't
Eagles.
the Packers.
Well,
the
the Eagles
49ers.
beat the Bears in the double doink. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Eagles, Bears, and the double doink. And then
Well, yeah, that was the Eagles. I'm saying that the Super Bowl that year. So the Eagles beat the Bears on the double doink that sent them to the divisional game versus the Saints. They lose to the Saints, and now I'm trying to get the Super Bowl that following year.
That might have been.
It was Rams.
Oh, never mind.
It was Rams.
Oh yeah, that was Rams Patriots.
Rams Patriots. It was 13-3.
Oh yeah, and the Eagles definitely. Yeah, I mean, any of those teams probably beat the Patriots that year. Patriots the Patriots lucked out by getting the Rams for sure.
So just how the cookie crumbles, man.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Those are the biggest.
I mean, there's so many.
What ifs by us?
Yeah. There's so
Craziness
many.
that is.
It's a fun conversation because there's so
Absolutely. Oh, for 100% sure. 100% sure.
many. Hakeem Olajuwon,
crazy
elite
as it is.
player, Rob.
I put him in the top 25. I don't know what you want from me.
Top 25. You compared him. Who did you compare him to?
I didn't compare him. I did a different comparison, and I was comparing him to the greatest player of all time. So my point was, when you're comparing him to the greatest player of all time, it's not quite as great. It's all the same.
Do it in terms of chefs.
Of what? Chefs?
Who is Michael Jordan and who is Hakeem Olajuwon?
Do you know enough chefs to do that? Just curious.
I mean, I know a few, but I'm not sure I could tell you who the GOAT of chefs is.
Who's the GOAT of chefs?
Like
what's his face? British guy.
Gordon Ramsay.
Ramsay, who's just a prick. I don't.
Yeah, but he's the GOAT.
Anyway, that's gonna wrap up this episode of Just the BetSlips. We wanna thank you all for coming along. Make sure that we're gonna post this on Twitter. What are the biggest what ifs? And hopefully everybody goes ahead and drops their biggest what ifs out there. Check out the live tomorrow if you're watching this tonight, or if you're listening to this tonight, watching, listening, whatever. Make sure you go and check out the lives when we're up. Will be noon on Saturday, noon on Sunday. So make sure you grab the lives, and remember that we promise to do one thing and one thing only for you, and that is to provide you with the hot tips to help your BetSlips. All right, we will see y'all live and catch the next podcast next week. Have a good one, everybody.
Bing bong.